And you mentioned Tom Brady. With Noble, you brought the TB12, the Tom Brady brand into Noble. What was the real vision behind that move? You know, obviously you have the brand piece, you have the Tom Brady part of it, but what was it that made that the right move for the company?
You know, I met Tom before I bought Noble, right after he won a Super Bowl with Tampa.
Mm-hmm.
And so, I joke with him. He's never won anything without me, right? Like with me. So I meet him. He starts to lose a couple of seasons. He hasn't, he's retiring. His performance is going down. He went through a tough divorce. I'm like, one day I said, Tom, you really hurt my reputation. I used to be a winner before I hung out with you. So I would joke with him like that. But
Yeah.
what I loved about Tom is in the 5 years that I know him, the ability to build a great relationship. And you know what? I just came off selling body armor for $8 billion to Coke. He just came off a 20-year NFL career, but he's been playing football since third grade. So think about that.
Yeah.
So, I think we were both blessed that God put us in our lives at a time when we were both going through something special. So I met Tom and he had TB12
Mm-hmm.
and he had the Brady brand. And obviously Tom's a big name, huge name. But when he was playing for New England, I used to tell him, I said, listen, there's a region out there that loves you. And then there's 46 other states who can't stand you. Like you beat them, you crush them every Sunday. You've hurt their feelings,
Mm-hmm.
because you're so good. Going to Tampa, I think made him a little bit more likable. And then over the last 5 years with Fox and everything, I think he was understood as a player off the field.
Mm-hmm.
There isn't a person who cares more about his teammates winning a championship than his own championship. There wasn't more of a team player than Tom Brady. I mean, we all know, you can see Bill Belichick runs a pretty tight ship.
Yeah.
For a 15 or 20-year veteran to still do that. And if you're a rookie on that team and you see Tom Brady, first one here,
Mm-hmm.
doing that, everybody else falls in line. So Tom is an amazing person. And, I think he was creating brands that were niche.
Yeah.
Tom's in that 1% of the 1%.
Mm-hmm.
Like the Hall of Fame, when he's in there one day, he's the GOAT, right?
Yeah.
So when you're coming out with TB12, and you need, and you got a TB12 method that comes with 3 massages and avocado ice cream and a chef. I said, Tom, not too many people can afford a chef and 3 massages. They kind of have jobs.
Yeah.
And it was like, he's been out of that realm. So he needed that. So he had this noble mentality. Tom's always had this split personality. Like, off the field, he's so calm.
Mm-hmm.
He's such a nice guy. He's funny. He's chill. And on the football field, you get, let's fucking go. He goes from Clark Kent to Superman and getting in someone's face. It's like he's got this incredible, persona about him, this alter ego. And I think I knew he would be great for Noble. I knew he would be great for me. And I also knew I'd be great for him and I'd be great for his brands.
Yeah.
So when I told you at the beginning, getting the chemistry together and making sure it's the right match, the deal would work later. And listen, I lost 30 pounds in the last 4 years because of Tom Brady. I didn't know about inflammation diets. I didn't know about, about body work. I didn't know, he's taught me so much and I've taught him a lot about business, and, we're really, 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 really good friends. And, I'm happy to be taking this journey. And Adam, just like me, he's got his 7 championships. I've sold my companies to create a brand called Noble to help that next generation, both mentally, physically, and emotionally, and starting with mental first.
Yeah.
Because, Adam, this mental piece, the pressure on Gen Z and millennials with social media and the amount of pressure they have on them is way different than when Tom grew up or I grew up.
Mm-hmm.
We had a simpler life. It was a lot more focused.
Yeah.
And here, I had ADD as a kid. ADD is a requirement for kids nowadays with all the distractions out there. So the ability to hyper focus and zone in like Tom would down 28-3 in a Super Bowl, or what you just said is I'm negotiating a big deal and to, keep calm in the chaos. I think we both want to teach that to that next
Yeah.
generation.
Well, what's Tom Brady like as a business guy? Is he in the weeds and talking revenues and net profit and everything?
It's great. I'll tell you, he wasn't,
Yeah.
but I'm telling you, the thing I love, and I was great friends and partners with Kobe Bryant,
Hmm.
and even Alex Rodriguez. There's a genius on the field and the court, and then there's a genius off the court in the field. Now,
Yeah.
it's not what they do for a living, so but they have the right, you know, you know,
The DNA. Yeah.
bandwidth,
Yeah.
to get there. So the questions that they ask are brilliant.
Hmm.
Like you would think, because they don't know the answer,
Yeah.
but they know the right question to ask.
Hmm.
So, Tom probably didn't know what EBITDA was. Now he does. Revenue, revenue after net revenue. No, he knows about that, valuations
Yeah.
and things like that. But Tom, just like he's he's such a perfectionist on the field.
Hmm.
He wants to know about, with Noble sneakers, why did we choose this arch,
Yeah.
and why is the width here, and how much is 9 centimeters? Like, he
Hmm.
has all these questions that honestly I don't even ask.
Yeah.
So he's got that mindset about being great
Yeah.
and being better than ever.